And the chain links just keep going up and up and up and up. Infinite impermanence. I'm running out of breath. Whew. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is awesome to see you guys around. Really glad to see you guys coming back around. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. We are trying to post daily Master Duel content. And yes, today's deck list is on the arguably one of the best decks in the current format for Master Duel, and that is going to be Floowandereeze. And before anyone says anything, I have never played Floowandereeze a day in my life, not in the physical TCG, not on Master Duel, so I was really excited to pick it up and learn how to play it, and I think I did a pretty good job. I have some replays for you in the combo tutorial at the end of the video, so stick around for that. We're going to go through the card by card for the main deck and the extra, and kind of just explain how the deck works, what it's all about, and we're going to have a great time doing it. So again, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, but let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, Floowandereeze is a control-based deck with your Wing Beast monsters and all of the Floowandereeze main deck monsters that we are playing, except for the exception of Floowandereeze and M-Pen, all have basically the gimmick that if the face-up card would leave the field, you banish it instead, and then they get effects that add that card back to your hand if they leave the field, and then they get extra normal summons, and they all have effects on normal summons. So it's just a big resource loop to get out your big boss monsters or your negates with your Mist Valley Apex Avian, with your Rise of the Mega Monarch, with your Floowandereeze and M-Pen, and then we are just playing a bunch of consistency stuff, Pot of Duality, Pot of Prosperity, and because all of this is normal summons, we don't have to worry about the restriction for Pot of Duality, saying that we can't special summon. Because all of the Floowandereeze monsters have the effect that you cannot special summon the turn that you activate the effect. But yeah, the deck is really good. It's really consistent. If you are able to open it, it's really easy to brick. If you can't get things going, you really want to find your field spell. So we're playing the terraforming. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the card by card, and I will explain everything as we go. So, starting off, arguably the most important part of this deck, the Floowandereeze and Robina. It's basically if it's normal summoned, you add a level 4 or lower winged beast monster from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after it resolves, normal summon a winged beast monster, and that's the additional normal summon is pretty standard for all of the main deck ones that we're playing. And yeah, so that one's a really good one to have. The Floowandereeze and Eaglen. When it is summoned, you can add a level 7 or higher Wing Beast monster, so you're going to be adding your Mist Valley Apex Avian, Rise of the Mega Monarch, and the Floowandereeze and M-Pen. And then we're playing 2 Floowandereeze and Stree. Some people are only playing this at 1. I like it at 2 just because I like to see more names in the opening hand. It makes it a little bit more consistent because this deck can brick if you don't open names, as well as some way to get to your map. So that's why we're playing a lot of the consistency cards like that. But when this card is summoned, it can target a card in either graveyard and banish it. So cool little like disruption interruption type thing, because this deck does play on your and your opponent's turn. Just really good resource loops and everything like that. So those are the main ones that we are playing. Rounding off the Floowandereeze and M-Pen, we're only playing the one of this. You can it's basically just searches your spell and traps, and we're playing the one Dreaming Town as well as the one Unexplored Wind. So there is your Floowandereeze lineup. As far as hand traps go, we're playing pretty standard: 3 Max C, 3 Ash, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 2 Called by the Grave, because we really want our Robina to stick. So if they have an Ash, we kind of just want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. So that's our hand trap lineup, pretty standard. After that, Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds. Neither player can special summon monsters except wind monsters. We don't special summon, so that's not going to be an issue. It's mainly just for our opponent. Mist Valley Apex Avian. Once per chain, when a card or effect is activated, quick effects, you can target a Mist Valley. It'll be this one. You return it to the hand and then negate the activation and destroy the card that was activated. You get this into rotation, as well as your Rise of the Mega Monarch. If this card is tribute summoned, you can target a card on the field and a card in either graveyard. And then if it was tribute summoned using a wind monster, you can target an additional card on the field, place the first target on the top of the deck in any order, and then return any additional target, if any, to the hand. So just really good for interruption. You typically summon this on your opponent's turn to interrupt them, and just it's really good. And then the secondary effect of N-Pen is also really good. So our main deck monsters, the highest it gets is 2800. So if your opponent has a big body on the field, the secondary effect of Floowandereeze and N-Pen is really good. So when this, while this tribute summon card is in the monster zone, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters they control in attack position, which is really good. A little floodgate there for you. And then once returned during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can banish a card from your hand, which will trigger all of your Floowandereeze monsters. And then you half that monster's attack and offense until the end of the turn, so it's really easy to just get over monsters that you're having a little bit of trouble with. One-offs, we're playing the Regeki, the Terraforming, just staples. Playing the 3 Pot of Duality as well as the Pot of Prosperity. You can play both of these together, which is really nice, and it won't interfere with anything. Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map. So this is arguably the most important card in your just in your rotation. So you need this. You reveal a Floowandereeze monster in your hand and send another monster from your deck to the graveyard who has the same, or sorry, you banish it from your deck to the banished pile that has the same level. So let's say you had an Eaglin. You reveal the Eaglin, you can send a Robina to the banish zone, trigger the effect of Robina to add it back to your hand, and then immediately summon it because you use the effect of the Eaglin to add whatever it may be. But yeah, that's basically just how that works. And then we have the one Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Wind, excuse me. This is really cool. It kind of acts, if you played Monarch format, you can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard. So it sends, and it's really good, and just it's great. And then during your main phase, you can reveal up to 2 winged beast monsters in your hand, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, draw the same number of cards, so it's a really good way to get through if you have a couple things in your hand that don't really work. Playing 3 copies of Book of Moon. This card, not a lot of people are playing it. I choose to play it over Dimension Shifter. Honestly, I only am playing the Book of Moon right now as a more budget alternative to Dimension Shifter because it's an ultra rare. I don't really have the URs for it right now, but people will play and are main decking Dimension Shifter right now specifically to deal with Floowandereeze because it is everywhere in Master Duel right now. But Book of Moon is really good just as disruption, generic disruption for anything that you're wanting to do to your opponent, and it comes up a couple times in the replays that'll be at the end of the video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Last couple cards here, we have Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. So this, really good. You search this with your M-Pen, and then you, on your opponent's turn, you can just normal summon and then get your chain going, and then you can get that done on your opponent's turn. It's just really good, and I think I have an example of that in the replays, but just really good to have as a one-of, a searchable one-of. Last thing, Vanity's Emptiness. We don't special summon, so we are not affected by this, which is really good, and this will stop a lot of decks dead in their tracks because they will not be able to do anything. So 1 Vanity's Emptiness to round out our 40-card deck, and we'll move on to the extra deck real quick. Alright, so as far as the extra deck goes, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be going into it. We just have it here for our Pot of Prosperity, so we can banish whatever we need to get through our deck to find the cards that we like. But we do have some cards here for some applications. We have the Lyrilisc, Assembled Nightingales. They gain some attack. And can't be destroyed by battle. Downer Magician for Zeus, Halqifibrax, your Nightmare lineup, and then we have a couple Charmers here, IP Masquerena, Ningirsu, Nightmare Unicorn, Boral Sword, Appaloosa, and Access Code Talker. Now, it's arguable that you could play a couple other cards specifically. I think people are playing like the Selene and including a copy of Effect Veiler in the main deck so they can link climb to go into access code a little bit easier, and I really like that. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the URs to make that, and this is, I guess you could call this a little bit more of a budget version of the deck. It's still pretty expensive, but it's not insane like it would be. So you can really put whatever you want in the extra deck. It's not the worst thing in the world to have just 15 random cards in the extra deck, but there are cards here, like the Leerless cards that have applications, because it is all of our main deck Floowandereeze monsters except for M-Pen are level 1s, and you can make that. You can make these Leerless monsters go into Downerd and then go into Zeus, and then you'll have a big Zeus. Link climb into access code. It's really just what you want to do, and there are a ton of different options that you can switch with the main deck. Like I said, the Book of Moon for the dimension shifters, add a Effect Veiler and the Selene combo in here with Halqifibrax, because as it stands right now, I don't really have a need to use Halqifibrax right now. It's just kind of a slot in there. So yeah, that is the main and extra deck. Hang on with me for just another minute, and we will go ahead and get into the replays and the combos and everything like that. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for me as far as main deck or extra deck inclusions that I have not said, please feel free to leave a comment down in the description. I'd love to hear from you. Or to hear from any more experienced Floowandereeze players, because again, this is my first time playing this deck. I had a lot of fun with it, but I'd love to hear from some more experienced players on what they think. But if you're new like me, this will do just fine. We'll see it in just a second for the replays. Alright, so getting into this first replay right here, I will say that this specific replay, I have one more for you after this, but this specific replay was one of the first games that I played with it, so I did not play optimally, but I wanted to include it because we are playing a mirror match, and it kind of got a little bit weird, and it kind of just goes to show how you really need to understand a deck in order to play against it, as well as pilot it correctly. But it was a good match, and I had a lot of fun with it. So we'll go ahead and just get started. So first things first, we're going to be activating our copy of Terraforming to get ourselves a copy of the Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map. We're going to go ahead and activate the Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6, and they will chain the Max C. Unfortunately for them, we're playing Floowandereeze and we do not special summon. So Max C will resolve. Pot of Prosperity will also resolve. Called by the Grave, Pot of Prosperity, Ryza, the Mega Monarch, Pot of Duality, the Dreaming Town, and Vanity's Emptiness. We go ahead and add the copy of the Pot of Duality because we need a normal summonable Floowandereeze monster. So 1, 2, and there it is. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and add the Stree. Activate the map. Activate the map again. For the Stree, sending a copy of Robina, then normal summoning the Stree. Banishing the copy of Max C. Robina will be chain linked 2. Chain linked will resolve. Robina will be added back to our hands, and then we will be able to get an additional normal summon for Robina. Robina will be able to add Eaglin, and then we get the additional normal summon. Eaglin will add us a copy of the Mist Valley Apex Avian. So after that, we are going to use our normal summon for the M-Pen, and then chain the Stree as well as the Eaglin to add the Eaglin and the Stree back to our hand, and then the M-Pen will allow us to add, I don't remember what we added. I think we added the Trap here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we added the Dreaming Town, which in hindsight, I probably should have added something a little bit different. I think I should have added the Unexplored Winds card, the spell. But we have some good interruption here. So we have the Omni Negate and 2 Book of Moon, as well as the Field Spell and the Trap card, which allows us to normal summon on our opponent's turn. So they are going to go ahead and activate their copy of the Field Spell. We're going to activate our copy of the Dreaming Town, to normal summon out the Eaglin. Eaglin effect will be able to add us, I think we add the Mega Ryza, if I'm not mistaken, but Robina will be able to add back to our hand, and then we grab the Mega Ryza. I was correct on that. Awesome. We're going to normal summon out the Robina, and then they will activate the effect of their field spell. Robina will be met with Ash, but we do, I believe, chain the Mist Valley Apex Avian, so we do get our search from Robina. Apex Avian will be going back to our hand for all of this to resolve. Ash will be negated, and we get our search off of Robina. We grab the barrier statue. That was one of the mess-ups I had because it was an early game. I was just going through the motions, and then I realized as soon as I added it to my hand that I was playing Floowandereeze, and that's not going to matter in the slightest. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon out our Apex Avian again, so we have another negate on our side of the field. And here we go with the chain links again, just over and over and over. It gets a little bit repetitive at times, but we're going to add back the Eaglin. And then the Robina is going to activate, adding them a copy of Eaglin. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, just know now that you've seen it. So we're going to go ahead and activate our copy of the field spell, allowing us to normal summon the Stree. They're going to go ahead and normal summon their copy of M-Pen chained by the ones that they tributed off. And we're going to be able to get our Stree to activate, which way they will chain the Ghost Bell to. And then after that, because we want to be able to keep summoning on our turn, we're going to activate the Apex Avian going up to chain link 5. It was kind of a nutty match. So after that, the chain is just going to resolve. We're going to normal summon out the Eaglin. Their Eaglin is going to be able to be added back. And then they are going to be able to add themselves a copy of the one that we probably should have added, but it's okay. So they're going to activate the whatever this one is called. So many different things going on right here. Anyway, so they're going to activate their field spell, revealing their copy of Robina, sending a copy of Stree to get their normal summon Robina, add back the Stree, and I believe that they go ahead and just normal summon. Nope, they go ahead and just do what they do here. So they're going to go to battle phase, and we will activate one of the Book of Moons that we set to flip that M-Pen face down, and then they're going to get over our, what did they get over? Our copy of Stree. They're going to use the effect of the, what is this one called? The Unexplored Wind. To get themselves the Duality. Duality will get them a copy of Infinite Impermanence, which they will set, and then I believe that is the end of their turn. So they set 2, pass it back to us. Let's see what we can get done here. So we're going to draw Robina. That's an excellent pull. So we're going to go ahead and activate the field spell, do the Robina send Stree, normal summon Robina. Robina will be chained with the Stree. Stree to add back to our hand, Robina to get ourselves a copy of something else, and the chain links just keep going up and up and up and up. Infinite Impermanence. I'm running out of breath. Whew. Okay. Infinite Impermanence will be negating. We'll get the Robina back, and then the Stree, we will be able to get that back to our hand as well, and then Robina will be negated. We're going to normal summon the Stree. Getting rid of the Ghost Spell, and they will chain Called by the Grave on our M-Pen here. And we're going to speed things up just a little bit. And then we're going to get out our Mega Ryza using our additional normal summons. Keep in mind, all of this is happening based on things that we set up the turn before. So we have all of this advantage that we were able to set up. We clearing their board out just a little bit, and then we're going to crash Robina's here. And that's a pretty good turn, so we're going to end it there. We know that the card in their hand is, I believe it's the Unexplored Wind or the Field Spell, but they have the Unexplored Wind, and they have the Field Spell. They're going to activate it, switch Eaglin to defense, and they're not going to be able to do anything else here, so they pass it back to us. We're going to draw for turn. And from here, what we're going to do, activate the field spell again. You know how it goes from by now. Normal summon out the Robina. Robina effect will get us the search. Stree will be added back to our hand. And I don't remember exactly what we search here, but we're going to get all chain link 4, all of the advantage back to our hand. This deck is so nutty when it comes to specifically card advantage. If you let Fluandereeze get on a roll, it's basically game over if you're not able to stop it. And I mean, our hand here is literally 7-8 cards. So we're going to go ahead and get out our Mist Valley Apex Avian, and they will go ahead and scoop. So mirror match goes like that. There were definitely some misplays on my end, but overall it was a really fun game and gives you an idea of how the deck is played. So one last replay for you. This one was played a little bit more optimally, and you will see that play out here. So we are going to be going first, as you should be able to. Pot of Prosperity, we're going to go ahead and banish 6 and look at the top. We have the Barrier Statue, Pot of Duality, the map, another Prosperity, and another map, and an Imperm. So we're going to add a copy of the map. Activate the copy of the map, revealing our Stree, sending Robina, Normal summoning the Stree, chaining our Robina. Robina will be able to add back, and then we get our additional normal summon off of Robina, and Robina will be able to add an Eaglin. Normal summoned out the Eaglin to add, I believe it was the Apex Avian. Yep, that is correct. And then we're going to go ahead and just get out our Apex Avian, get our resources back. The Eaglin and the Stree will go ahead and be added back to our hand. And then we're going to go ahead and just sit on our Dreaming Town as well as the Called by the Grave. And we have a Max C. We're looking pretty good. So our opponent's playing the Photon deck, I believe. So once they normal summon that, we're going to go ahead and activate Floowandereeze so we can summon on our opponent's turn. So we're going to go ahead and get Ryza. Mega Ryza, which will bounce the Photon Crusher back to our opponent's hand, but not before we go up to Chainlink 3 once again to get ourselves our resources back. This deck is so nutty. So after this, our opponents, I believe, I don't remember exactly what they do. They go ahead and just pass the turn. So from here, we're going to demonstrate what we can do with just an open board. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Robina. Robina effect will add us a copy of Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. Going to go ahead and normal summon the Eaglin. Eaglin will add us the M-Pen, and then we will normal summon the Stree. I messed up a little bit here. I should have gone for the M-Pen. I didn't realize that there was nothing in either of our graveyards that were not able to be banished. So one thing to keep in mind with Stree is that before you commit to the summon, make sure that there is a card in the graveyard so that you can banish, so you can get that additional normal summon. Very, very, very important. So from here, we're going to just go ahead and get in for damage. So if I would have just, summoned the M-Pen, the game would have been over here. So it's definitely a misplay on my end. But that's completely fine. We have lots of follow-up and interruption for their turn here. So they're going to go ahead and draw. Main phase 1, they will go ahead and summon back out that Photon Crusher, and we will go ahead and just get out this the Floowandereeze and M-Pen. And from here, we're just, again, same thing, just going to be getting all of this advantage back to our hand so we can continue to make the plays that we want to do. And with our additional normal summon, we're going to go ahead and you just use the Barrier Statue to prevent them basically from being able to go into the plays that they want to do. The extra deck plays basically forces Photon Crusher to use, basically use them to make them use their battle phase for this turn to deal specifically with the Barrier Statue. And from there, they get out their Photon Vanisher, and we will chain the Max C, because I thought they were going to go into into a rank 4 play, but they go ahead and just normal summon out the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is completely fine. We're going to be able to wrap this up here pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Wind Robina. Normal summon will add us a copy of the Eaglin, and from there we're going to go ahead and just activate the Book of Moon, flipping the Galaxy Eyes, and just going to go ahead and wrap things up from here. M-Pen will do the final bit of damage for us, and that is Floowandereeze. I hope you guys have learned something. If you are more experienced with the deck, like I was saying, please give me your feedback and let me know what you think of my build in general. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm really liking all of the new archetype and like the with the new pack in Master Duel with finishing off support for Floowandereeze, the just none of the names are coming to me off the top of my head, but Floowandereeze, Suship, Magic-Key, all of just the recent new archetypes finally got a Live Twin. That's the other one. I think I'm going to be doing videos in the coming days, just doing profiles on those specifically. So let me know what profile you would like to see tomorrow. I had a lot of fun with this one. I had a lot of fun with the Magic-Key one yesterday. And I hope you're having a lot of fun with Master Duel too. So thank you for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, and I will see you next time. I have been Spellslinger. Have a great day.